Hi guys, good morning and welcome back to another video. Thanks for tuning in to this channel, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing and also don't forget to give this video a like. So in today's video we are going to be talking about the medical examination for Canadian immigration. There are so many people that have been asking questions about what kinds of medical conditions can deter one from being admissible to Canada. So one thing that you should note is that before you are given like a permanent residency status, there are some conditions that you are supposed to fulfill, including medical admissibility to Canada. And this means that you should not have any medical condition that will be danger to the Canadian population. So to come to Canada, you need to meet all the inadmissibility rules, including medical inadmissibility. And this can affect anyone that is intending to apply for study in Canada, a visit visa to Canada, a work visa to Canada, or even to live permanently in Canada. So the three reasons for inadmissibility would be a danger to public health, in that you may have a certain condition or infectious disease that would endanger the Canadian population. And the second one would be danger to public safety. Maybe you have a mental health condition that would cause you to be violent or act in a way that would also endanger the Canadian population. The third reason would be if your condition would cause excessive demand on health and social services. So if you're going to apply for permanent residency, then you need to note that you as the primary applicant and all the members of your family, your nuclear family, will need to undergo a medical test. And that includes your husband, wife, and all your children, whether or not they'll be accompanying you to Canada. And somebody might think like, okay, if these people are not coming with me, then why do they need to undergo that? But IRCC know that at some point in time, these people would want to join you either through a visit or in whichever capacity, and in that case they would still pose a threat. So just plan yourself accordingly. If you are applying for Canadian immigration, especially for permanent residency, then you need to plan for medical examinations for all these family members. The other thing to take note of is that the medical examination can only be conducted by a panel physician that is approved by IRCC. That means that you cannot go to any doctor or any private clinic and ask them to do a medical examination on you. You have to find the right panel physician for your region, your territory, or your country for them to conduct this examination. And for the sake of those people that maybe are applying for permanent residency through express entry, then you have the option of getting an upfront medical examination, that is before you submit your application, or you can also do it after you submit your application. Both cases are acceptable. But the only downside with getting an upfront medical examination is that you will have a shorter validity of time after you receive your confirmation of permanent residency to travel to Canada, because the validity of the medical examination report is 1 year from the date that you take the medical examination. So if you take the medical examination today, which is on the 10th of August, it means that by next year 2022 10th of August, then your medical report will have expired, and in that case you will need to undergo a fresh medical examination at your own cost. So it's usually advisable that you wait until you receive your ITA or your invitation to apply before you can go for your medicals, because it is not something that is very hefty or very technical. You just need to book an appointment with your panel physician and then go and undergo the tests, and then you are done. So this is something that you can actually leave to the last stages as you're collecting your documents and you're putting together your documents to make your application. After you have already received your police clearance report, after you have already put together your your employment reference letters and all other documents, supporting documentations for your application, maybe a week into the date that you're supposed to submit your application, that is when you need to go for the medical, just to give yourself enough lead time for when you receive your corp to be able to travel. Otherwise it will give you too much pressure, especially during these COVID-19 times where there is an excessive delay in the application process for the people that have already applied for permanent residency. So if your application is going to take a period of 12 months and you applied maybe earlier, then it will happen that maybe your medical exam will expire before you even receive your card, and it is going to be an extra cost on you. And this medical examination is really expensive. Just as in the case of every other thing to do with this Canadian immigration, I was shocked to learn that in Kenya the medical examination for permanent residency is 33,000 Kenya shillings, and that is around 330 US dollars for adults, and for kids is 16,000 Kenya shillings, and not just any other kid. Like for the case of my daughter who is 7 years old, then her cost is 16,000 Kenya shillings. So the two of us, that is already like 49,000, roughly 50,000 Kenya shillings. So you can imagine how expensive that is. When I was doing my research before about medical examination for Canada, I saw that it's around, at most for adults would go to around 17,000 and for kids around 11,000, and that was what I had in mind all this while, only to learn that it has gone like 3 times up. So yeah, just plan yourself accordingly, because it's very expensive. So if it is you and your husband and then maybe 3 children, just do the math. It can come even up to 80,000 or 100,000 just to get the medicals done. And the sad thing is that in case you're not approved for permanent residency, then you will not get a refund on your application, or you'll not get a refund or on your medical examination. So that's just something that you need to take note of as you plan yourself. So the other thing to note is that, like, what are the kinds of medical examinations that you will have to go through. Actually, the kinds of the examinations that you'll have to go through depend on your age. Like for children who are between 0 and 4 years old, they will only have to undergo like a physical examination, and this includes checking their weight, height, maybe pulse rate, blood pressure, their hearing, their vision, their heart, check their heart and lungs, and check their breathing, all that. Just physical examination for those that are 0 to 4 years old. And then between 5 and 10 years old, they have to undergo a physical examination that includes all the things that I've just listed, plus urinalysis. And then those that are between the age of 11 to 14 years old, they will have to undergo a physical examination, urinalysis, and also chest x-ray to check for tuberculosis. And if you are 15 years or older, then you will have to undergo a physical examination, urinalysis, chest x-ray for TB, blood pressure check, eye checkup. They'll also have to conduct a blood test to check for syphilis and HIV. So in case you are found that you have like maybe active TB or active syphilis, then those could be like reasons for inadmissibility. But in any case, your panel physician will not give you a report of your medical examination. After the test, all they will give you is a document to confirm that you have undergone all the tests, but the test will be sent directly to IRCC. So it is not up to the panel physician to make a decision about whether or not you are admissible or inadmissible in terms of medical inadmissibility, but it's up to IRCC for them to determine like what would be the cost of treating your condition or how it would affect the Canadian population. And then they will come back to you in writing and maybe give you a chance to explain like yourself before they make a final decision. So yeah, it's just like that. But those are just some of the things that I needed to let you guys know, and get yourself prepared. If you are planning to immigrate to Canada in whatever capacity, then just know that you must have to undergo a medical examination. So again, for Kenya, it is only conducted at IOM, and that is in those sites of Gigiri at the UN. And there is only one panel physician that is approved, of course, by IRCC for Kenyan residents. So yeah, that is where you are supposed to go. You need to call them, book an appointment, and then they will give you instructions on what to bring and what to do. And for the payment, you can make your payment via M-Pesa, or they can also give you bank details, and then they will send you to Gigiri to deposit the money in their their bank. But I just find that having the money on M-Pesa is upfront, and you finish it there and then, so you don't have to make a back and forth trips to go and deposit the money in the account. So if you're going to go for the medical, you're better off just loading the money in your M-Pesa account and then making the payment. They'll give you a pay bill number and all that stuff. So yeah, just a few things to note. Yeah, it's expensive, so you need to plan yourself accordingly. Nothing, when it comes to immigration, nothing is going to come easy, nothing is going to come cheap. But at the end of the day, I believe it's worth the while once you land, once you make your landing in the Canadian soil. So in case you have any questions related to the topic of today, feel free to put your questions in the comment section down below. And also, if you have suggestions for other videos that you would like to see in the future, don't forget to put them also in the comment section down below. Also, remember to give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in another video. Bye.